Hello, this is Anes Masamba speaking. I'd like to speak about time, just a little bit. So yeah, I've been speaking about time on my Facebook page. What is time? What is the value of time? Why is it some people they seem to have more time than others and others seem to have less time? Of course, it happens. It not depends with how we use our time. Like, let's take a look at it this way. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? But in those 24 hours, how much time do we use productively? Some people they sleep up to 10 hours every day, and you can imagine how much time they will have, which means as they sleep 10 hours every day, right? They already have 10 hours gone, and that means they are left with 14 hours. And it's nearly impossible for a person to be totally focused in those 14 hours to do every bit, like to make sure that every second they are doing a productive thing. There are times when you are going to need rest. There are times when you are going to need this. So that means by that simple fact, you already have less time to spend, right? Jim Rohn said something which I like. He said, if you spend one day, you have one day less to spend. Okay, let me give a monetary example. If you have $5, you get into a shop, you spend $1. That means you've taken $1 away from the $5. So that means you have $1 less to spend. So that's the same with time. Whatever time it is that you spend, you have also removed that time. You also have less time to spend. So make sure that with whatever time you have, you utilize it to get the best possible results that you can, or to do the best that you can with that time that is there. We can speak about why some people have more time. Of course, it can come back to speaking about time management. But I wouldn't want to rush into speaking about time management, because time management is another topic as well, which is really broad, and it comprises a lot. For us to be able to manage our time efficiently and effectively, we need to discipline ourselves. And yeah, many of us, we practice discipline, but discipline is not something which you can say out of the blue you are now disciplined, or something which you can say, okay, I'm now want to practice discipline, then in a week or in 2 weeks time you already practice it. Let me put it this way. It's like trying to put down a wall, right? There are practices or there are habits which you already have when it comes to spending time. And for you to get rid of them, you don't just hit it once and it falls. Take a look at it like hitting a wall, right? If you want a wall to fall down or to break, yeah, something like that, you will need to continuously hit it. And as you hit it, it will begin to form cracks. And these cracks, as you continuously hit in these cracks on those cracks and on those cracks, it will eventually become weaker and weaker and weaker until it is very weak, that even with the slightest of the hits, it will then fall down. So that's the same which I'm trying to say we need to take it bit by bit, because by taking it bit by bit, that's how we are hitting that wall and trying to make it fall down, trying to make it fall down, so that at least we achieve what we want to achieve. So there's no need of rushing, because you can rush, and when you rush, you may not do it appropriately, or you may not get the necessary lessons that you're supposed to get. One person once, actually Jim Rohn, he said, he got $1 million. The major, his mentor told him that the most important thing are the lessons that you get, not the money that you get. For example, you can get $1 million without the lessons, right? And when you get that $1 million, what will happen is you will soon lose it, just because you don't know how it came. But when you know how to get $1 million, even when you lose it, yes, you are able to generate it again. So that's the same with time. If we learn the principles of managing time bit by bit, we will be able to keep on rising up, even though we may fall, we may stumble and stuff, rather than just trying to say, okay, you are setting on a goal, or you are setting on objectives which are fixed, which are rigid. And we are humans also. That's something you need to know. So at times you are bound to stumble, at times you are bound to make mistakes, and when you do that, it's not like that's the end of the world. You need to rise up again and go again. So that's the thing. We need to take it step by step. Start by putting on a few tasks to say, okay, what do I want to achieve today? If there are 3 major tasks, make sure you achieve them, and you allocate the time to say, okay, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I want to meet so and so, then from 7 to 8 I want to have dinner. Start by simple tasks, right? Although it's gonna take a while, but it's worth giving it a go. We all did not start walking by just coming out of our mother's homes and starting to walk, but we had to fall over and rise up again. So that's the thing. So sometimes you have to fail over and over again for you to get it right, and it's part of life. That's how we all learn. At some point we are bound to fail, whether we acknowledge it or we don't. And let me tell you something, failure is not like we don't only talk about failure in high magnitudes. Even simple things, like let's say you want to catch a 9:30 bus and you miss it by 5 minutes. That's failure, because you did not achieve the goal which you wanted to achieve. So that's the thing. At some point we are bound to fail, but as we are bound to fail, it is important for us to understand, and it is important for us to bounce back. And how do we bounce back? We go back to the principles. So let us understand the principles that it takes for us to be wherever we are. Then that way we know that even when we fall, we will be able to rise up again. Yep, it has been a pleasure speaking to you. So yeah, do remember to like my Facebook page called Ernest Masamba, www.facebook.com/Ernest Masamba. Also invite your friends, your family members, and whoever you can invite to like the page as well. Then also subscribe my YouTube channel, which is Ernest Masamba, or you can simply type www.youtube.com/Ernest Masamba. Remember to subscribe and like. Thank you.